is Stacy Dymalski with her speech, Making Change. Making Change, Stacy Dymalski.
Thank you, Madam Contest Chair. On one of my recent business trips, I had a layover in Dallas. So I decided to stop in and get a latte at a coffee joint which shall remain nameless. However, last I checked, they had universally expanded to the point at which if you wanted to buy their coffee, you had to use an intergalactic form of currency known as Starbucks. So I bought my latte, which came to $4.84. I paid with a $5 bill, waiting for my change, but it never came. Instead, the young woman behind the counter craned her neck to look beyond me as if I were blocking her view of the Pope shooting craps, and yelled, "Next!" I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it, because even though 16 cents wouldn't make or break me, I thought it was a bit bold for a cashier to assume that a customer wouldn't want her change. I could see if I walked away or muttered, "Keep the change." But none of that happened. So instead of moving away, I decided to stand my ground, giving the lady the look that I give my kids when I know that they know that I know that they're up to no good, but won't admit it. So I just stood. But finally, she looked at me with a very apologetic expression, as if she'd left her baby on a bar stool at Hooters, and quickly handed me my receipt, which, by the way, had my change on it. Excuse me, what about my change? You want that? She acted like she completely forgot that she owed me money. Well, yes, it is mine, right? She exhaled an annoying sigh, saying, "Well, I can't open the drawer until I help the guy next in line, so you're just going to have to move aside and wait." Fine. So I scooted over and I let the guy behind me place his order, which, by the way, had so many instructions, it was like he was closing escrow. Decaf latte, soy milk, sweet and low, no sugar. Oh, and can I get one of those gluten-free muffins? And could you scrape the gooey stuff off the top and sprinkle a little nutmeg on instead? Geez, why don't you just order a root beer float with diet root beer while you're at it? I wondered why a guy like this would make a pit stop at a place where the food rolled off an assembly line as if it were a subsidiary of the Ford Motor Company. In the meantime, a barista shouted out my order, so like Pavlov's dog, I trotted over there to stand in that line so I could retrieve my delicious hot beverage. But I was gone maybe 2 minutes, and I'd come back over here to get my 16 cents, and the young woman behind the counter is now a young man. What? Excuse me, where was the gal that was just here? She left. Her shift's over. Oh, that's when it got weird. I mean, who in their right mind risks missing a connecting flight over 16 cents? Yes, it's the principal, but all this kid would see is some crazy lady who was trying to scam 16 cents out of the till on his watch. Not exactly my finest hour. I skulked away, angry. After all, what if hundreds of people left 16 cents behind? That would add up. What's this world coming to if we can't get the change we have coming? You can bet if my coffee were $4.16, and I said, "I'm sorry, I only have $4, but feel free to make up the difference," I wouldn't be getting my coffee anytime soon. And that's when I saw a $10 bill lying on the floor. right there in the middle of a busy concourse. No one saw it but me. I picked it up. I should have felt vindicated, but instead, I felt a little downhearted. I only lost 16 cents, but someone else lost 10 bucks. It was like the universe was trying to tell me, oh my gosh, enough already about your stupid 16 cents. Here's $10, now shut up. As I continued down the concourse, still wondering why I wasn't doing cheetah flips over finding $10, I noticed a young mom and her 2 cranky toddlers standing at a counter of a pizza place. She had a wad of wrinkled up cash in front of her, but she was still digging around in her purse, obviously short the total. Her kids were tired and whiny. Her face was full of fatigue and anxiety. And there was a line of worried travelers impatiently waiting behind her. Not an optimal situation for anyone. I turned and backtracked to the young mom and placed my newfound $10 bill on the counter in front of her little pile of wrinkled cash. She looked at me with an expression of like, oh my gosh, now what? That bordered on anger. I think she thought I was trying to cut in line. I simply smiled at her and said, keep the change. Then I quickly left her to manage her brood, and I continued down the concourse to catch my flight home. 16 cents poorer, but $10 richer. Madam Contest.